from the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
Tonight, an Indianapolis family is devastated, grieving the loss of a 16-year-old girl killed at a luxury hotel early this morning in downtown Indianapolis. Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Nicole Griffin. Tonight, we are hearing from the brother of Carla Vasquez, who the coroner identifies as the victim of the shooting at the JW Marriott Hotel. Christian Chinchilla tells me his 16-year-old sister Carla attended Wayne Prep Academy and had a twin sister. He says last night she was at a party for her friend's 21st birthday at the JW Marriott. Chinchilla says it was just a small group of girls and at least 2 guys in the hotel room. Around 1 a.m., police responded to the hotel after Carla was shot and killed. And this morning, we did learn a 17-year-old male has been arrested. Chinchilla walked me through the moments he received a phone call from his family telling him what happened.
I just thought, what hotel would she be at? What hospital would she be at? And my mom said, I don't know, I'm going to get a hold of her right now. I hung up. Somebody else called me. They said, hey, your sister has been shot in the face. Call your mom. Be careful, this and that. And I just broke down, and I called my mom, and I told her, please be strong, Mom. Please be strong. Please. And I was thinking she was at a more of a lower-class hotel, you know, like on 10th Street in Washington or somewhere else, some other type of hotel where, you know, these teenagers like to throw a kickback.
Well, at the time of the shooting, Chinchilla says witnesses tell him his sister was asleep. He says he's been told the shooting was an accident, but doesn't believe a 17-year-old should have had a gun in the hotel room in the first place.
And my little sister, my little innocent sister, you know, had to get shot from a stray bullet. There was no need for that guy to aim the barrel even at her, like as if she's a mannequin or a target. That's why you go shooting to, you know, to the shooting ranges for it. Doesn't make any sense how anybody can just have a gun nowadays and just decide, okay, I can take your life. Some kids think it's funny out there. Some kids think it's a game or it's a sport. You know, it's the culture we live in. So it's so unfortunate that I have to be a victim, you know, of a tragedy like this.
The 17-year-old who was arrested is preliminarily charged with reckless homicide. His name is not being released because he is a minor. Chinchilla has started a GoFundMe page to help raise money to pay for Carla's funeral expenses. New tonight, Metro Police are investigating a deadly shooting. The victim was found dead this evening inside a vehicle in the 5200 block of Georgetown Road. Several other people were in the car when officers arrived. No one else was injured. Detectives are looking for another vehicle possibly involved in the incident, but don't have a description of the car yet. Investigators have not released the victim's name. If you have any information tonight, call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. An elderly woman whose home caught on fire is alive tonight thanks to an alert neighbor and a passerby. Ricardo Loretto says he was driving past the home on Minnesota Street when he noticed smoke coming from the rear. He ran up to the house and started knocking on the door, asking if anyone was inside. Neighbor Alex Klein heard Loretto and ran over to help. She kicked open the back door of the home and, guided by the sound of the 92-year-old woman's voice, managed to find her.
She just runs in. I'm like, hold on, and the whole ceiling's on fire.
Wow.
She's like, I found her. I'm like, okay, let's get her.
Well, Klein and Loretto carried the woman to a car and then covered her with blankets until medics arrived. Firefighters were so impressed with Klein, they actually encouraged her to apply for the next IFD recruit class. And now to your forecast tonight. Meteorologist Kyle Mounts is standing by. And Kyle, driving into work tonight, I'm driving through some rain. It's pretty chilly out there. Not the best Saturday.
Yeah, and that's going to carry over into the first part of our Sunday, Nicole. We've got that rain that's just getting started here. You can see it is really taking up a lot of real estate here in Illinois. And at this point, we've got some light to moderate rain, mainly east of Indianapolis along I-70 here around Greenfield, moving between about Rushville and the Newcastle area for you this evening. But as we check out TrueCast here through the overnight, you can see that rain will continue to overspread the area. We may even see a few snowflakes in northern locations like Monticello, Logansport, and Peru. Not expecting any accumulation out of that. We are, of course, expecting the rain to add up a little bit, generally about an inch. All the models coming in there For the rainfall in the Indianapolis area, some areas could see about 1.5 inches of wet weather. Right now, we've got some light rain downtown and 43 degrees, a little breezy, so it actually gives us a wind chill. Feels like 36 out there right now. Into the morning hours, temperatures will settle right around 40 degrees with that rain continuing. I'll let you know when the rain will wrap up and if we'll warm up once it moves out in a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Now to our continuing coverage of the coronavirus and its impact on Indiana. The state health department reports 6,983 new coronavirus cases. 40 more Hoosiers have died with COVID-19, bringing the total number of deaths to 4,992. Since March, more than 289,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. More than 3.8 million tests have been administered in Indiana. Another record-setting day in the U.S. According to the COVID tracking project, 178,000 people tested positive for the virus on Friday. 1,506 lost their lives and 83,000 people are in the hospital. As the fight continues, millions are preparing for the Thanksgiving holiday that will look a lot different than years past. ABC's Karina Mitchell reports now from New York.
The U.S. surpassing another grim milestone, more than 12 million cases of coronavirus since the pandemic began. That's according to Johns Hopkins University. People lining up to get tested ahead of Thanksgiving, some waiting for hours. But the CDC urging everyone to avoid traveling for the holiday and to celebrate with their immediate household only. Nick Klein is an ICU nurse in Iowa. He's worried family gatherings will spread the virus even further.
I myself want to go celebrate with my family, but have canceled both Thanksgiving and Christmas in fear of passing it on to my loved ones. We definitely do not want to see Thanksgiving family get-togethers be Christmas family funerals.
Nationwide, more than 83,000 patients are currently hospitalized, many facilities struggling to keep up.
We can always get more drugs. We can always get more machines. We can't get a hold of We can't just make more people.
Some communities enacting new measures in an effort to slow the spread. California with a 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew across most of the state, but some law enforcement agencies say they won't be enforcing it.
Our goal is to not arrest folks. Our goal is to not use the criminal law to enforce these things, but to utilize education, to utilize humanity, to talk to folks about the issues.
Globally, the number of cases of COVID-19 is nearing 60 million, and more than 1.3 million people have died. The G20 world leaders gathering virtually this year. President Trump participated briefly in the opening ceremonies, but appears to have skipped a session on global response efforts and pandemic preparedness, opting instead to visit his golf course in Virginia. Meanwhile, President-elect Biden was asked if all Americans should be able to attend religious service safely during the pandemic.
Yes, safely.
Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
Karina, thank you. In Indianapolis, Thanksgiving tradition is now going all virtual. Earlier this week, we told you the drumstick dash would go on with social distancing and other restrictions due to the pandemic. But today, organizers announced they are changing this to a virtual-only event after talking with officials at the Marion County Public Health Department. All registered participants will be automatically transferred to the virtual race. The drumstick dash benefits Wheeler Mission. The race was started 18 years ago to help raise awareness and funds for services to help those experiencing homelessness. Organizers say this year's event is more critical because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And it is no secret it has been a very hard year, and the need is greater than ever right now to feed families and help those who are struggling. And one church on the south side is doing just that. WRTV Stephanie Wade shows us a special effort to make sure everyone has a happy Thanksgiving this year.
300 families are getting Thanksgiving meals today, provided by the Faith Community Church on the south side. They're driving station to station and collecting different food items for Thursday's meal.
Well, what we've seen today is people get hope, because people are looking for hope.
It's absolutely beautiful. We couldn't be any more blessed. Amazing. We're absolutely overjoyed.
Car after car and family after family drives by as they pick up different items to create a beautiful Thanksgiving meal this year.
This Thanksgiving, where people are afraid or scared, and a lot of different things going on in people's lives, we're having people come through that's lost a job or down in their health. And so what we're doing is giving them hope by providing for them a Thanksgiving meal that they take home and cook for themselves. And in that meal, we're showing them the love of Jesus.
This is such a beautiful gesture. We're just blessed. We're fortunate that there are people like this that have come out on their Saturday, gave up. The weather's not the greatest, but they're helping us eat.
The church collected funds to provide the food, and families have been signing up for the past few weeks. The pastor tells me in less than 7 days, they signed up all 300 families they were able to provide meals for.
It showed us that there's a need. And as a church, we have a responsibility to meet that need, to show people that there is a community of people. You know, we're better when we're together. There's so many people expressing their opinions and split apart, but we're stronger as a community, as a city, when we come together.
Though it may be different this year, this church is still trying to spread love and joy this holiday season.
Bless them at their job, their work, God, their children, their families. Give them a great Thanksgiving. May they feel the joy of Thanksgiving in their hearts this year. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
God bless you guys.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
Good to see, Stephanie. Thank you so much. Well, a tribute is now complete in downtown Indianapolis for Holocaust survivor Eva Moses Core. The 53-foot tall mural is on the south wall of the 500 Festival building on Virginia Avenue. The mural is based on a photo of Core taken during one of her visits to Auschwitz, where she was imprisoned as a child. It was painted by Pamela Bliss, a Hoosier artist behind outdoor murals of icons like Kurt Vonnegut, Reggie Miller, and John Mellencamp. Now everyone driving down the Indianapolis Cultural Trail will be met by the face of Core, one of the most inspirational Hoosiers, with her signature message of hope, healing, and forgiveness. The 500 Festival nonprofit, along with Team Eva volunteers, hope it inspires generations to come. The Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department is hiring. Here's a look at a new video they released on Friday. They've had to adjust their recruiting efforts due to the pandemic, and they're not able to do in-person events at schools, so instead they are holding online informational sessions. They are also using targeted radio and social media ads to connect with the community as they look to hire new officers that are representative of the community they serve. Police say despite the current climate, people are still coming forward hoping to become an officer.
Even though we're facing difficult times now in law enforcement, we're still seeing so many people that are coming in with a servant's heart. They still want to get out there and serve their community, and they want to be part of the change. So if they believe that there are changes need to be made to the police department, they want to come in and try to be a part of that. And that's why our campaign right now is currently Change Starts Here.
The deadline to apply to join IMPD is December 19th, and we have more information about the specific requirements and programs to help prepare applicants right on our website, WRTV.com. If you're traveling a long distance, the CDC says you need to get tested for COVID not once, not even twice, but 3 times. Find out why when we come back. And the Hoosiers rallied from a 4-touchdown deficit in the second half against Ohio State, but was it enough to clinch a win? The highlights a bit later. A U.S. District Court judge is throwing out the Trump campaign's election lawsuit in Pennsylvania. Judge Matthew Brand wrote the plaintiffs have no evidence to support their claim that mail-in ballots there were invalid. He said their arguments lack merit and amount to speculative claims. The judge says he sees no reason to disenfranchise a single voter, let alone almost 7 million. New guidance tonight from the CDC says people who fly internationally should take 3 COVID-19 tests. According to the CDC, international travelers should test negative 1 to 3 days before traveling and carry a copy of their results with them. The CDC recommends the same procedure for the return trip and another test 3 to 5 days after returning, even with negative results. The agency says travelers should stay home a week after an international flight. It suggests a 2-week quarantine for those who don't get tested again. Again, this is not a suggestion. This is just a suggestion, not a requirement. A Thanksgiving tradition almost did not happen under new restrictions involving masks and social distancing. Organizers managed to pull it off today. The event was smaller and different due to the pandemic. Our Rafael Sanchez reports on the volunteers hard at work.
One at a time, roll through. There was an appetite in this age of COVID to be safe and serve the community.
Because for people to come out here and sit in the lines for 3 or 4 hours, they need some help. So we need to get out here and do the best we can. Good morning. Where would you like it?
You know, it just lets us know that we're still needed, not only as a community center, but as a whole.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Usually this event at the Indy Park's Watkins Family Center unfolds on Thanksgiving Day. Here are images from previous years in which hundreds of volunteers cook, pack, and distribute more than 8,000 meals. That wasn't possible this year due to the pandemic, so a drive-through was created, reaching out to 325 families with either a turkey or a $25 gift card.
I think the best thing we've seen over these last couple of days, last couple of weeks, last couple of months, the best thing we've seen amongst each other is our ingenuity and our creativity, that no matter what's happening in the world, people are still coming together to meet each other's basic needs.
I've been doing this for 6 years, and it just makes me so happy to be part of a community that's just willing to give.
This holiday tradition, well into its third decade, delivers on its promise to fill a need, foster goodwill among volunteers, and show a faith that working together, anything is possible. Working for you in Indianapolis, Rafael Sanchez, WRTV.
And they did have to deal with a little bit of rain out there today. We are all going to be dealing with some of that rain overnight tonight and into the first half of our Sunday. And it's going to be a chilly rain with temperatures out there already in the lower 40s, 40 even for you there in the Richmond area, 41 in Peru, and we've got 43 degrees downtown and in Martinsville. There we look back to the west, and the rain is lined up from portions of Arkansas through Missouri and really a large chunk of Illinois. And you also notice there's some yellows and oranges in there, some moderate to possibly heavy rain that will be sliding our way. Right now, we've just got some pockets of rainfall across the western portion of the state, and then as we look toward the east as well there along I-70 and then around the Newcastle area. So here's TrueCast as we go through the overnight hours. Rain will continue, and again, at times could be a little bit heavy. We get to about 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we may have cold enough temperatures in northern locations where we see some of those snowflakes mixing in. Again, we're not expecting to see accumulations because I do think that the temperatures will be right at or just above the freezing mark for us, but don't be surprised if you see a little bit of snow mixing in up there. Most of us, though, is just going to be a chilly rain by mid-morning at 10 a.m. on your Sunday, still dealing with some rain. We start to see the back edge of that, though, sliding east across the state as we go toward about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Should really start to taper off those showers with the exception of areas like Rushville, Connorsville, and Richmond. But as we get into tomorrow evening, we'll still have the cloudy skies, but the wet weather will be out of here, leaving behind about a ½ inch to maybe an inch and a half of rain across a few locations, a healthy dose of water that we certainly do need. It has been a little bit dry here in the month of November, but look at these temperatures. Even as the rain moves out, the clouds are going to stick around and our temperatures are going nowhere tomorrow. We will hold in the lower to middle 40s for that afternoon high. So a below average day for us. 47 your high in Columbus, just 42 in the Muncie area, and we may not get out of the 30s around Peru and Logansport. Temperatures will gradually be moderating here as we get a little closer to the Thanksgiving holiday. We're actually in the middle 50s by Wednesday, and Thanksgiving Day itself, I do think will be dry there with partly sunny skies and those temperatures that will be seasonable in the lower half of the 50s. 7-day planning forecast now as we put it all together for you, and there's that 45-degree high, chilly rain for us on Sunday, but again, the afternoon we should begin to dry out a little bit. We start off close to the freezing mark on Monday morning, 47 with some sunshine. Then the clouds will build again on Tuesday. Rain arrives late Tuesday, and that will carry over into Wednesday. Again, could have some heavy rainfall there. Temperatures settling around 50 degrees as we go into next weekend. Stay with us. We've got more on the news at 11.
WRTV's annual toy drive is underway. You can drop off new unwrapped gifts at several Central Indiana youth store locations. We will also be collecting donations at Simon Malls in the Indianapolis area on December 5th. You can also make a financial donation online at WRTV.com/toy drive. It was the most anticipated matchup of IU's football schedule this season. The unbeaten Hoosiers at Ohio State today. The final score did not fall in IU's favor, but they showed everyone watching that they belong in the conversation among the best in the Big Ten. Here's WRTV's Brad Brown.
A slow start put IU in an early hole at Ohio State. The Hoosiers gave up a quick touchdown in the first quarter and were unable to score in the opening frame, but they pulled even in the second. After a big pass put them in the red zone, Michael Penix Jr. found Whop Fillier for the 4-yard touchdown, game tied 7-7. But the Buckeyes would rattle off the next 28 points. An early third quarter touchdown from Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson gave OSU a 35-7 edge. Indiana did not quit, though. Penix connected with Ty Freifogel for a pair of TDs in the third, the second of those for 33 yards to the back of the end zone. IU cut the deficit in half at that point. Ohio State would return a pick six to go back up by 3 scores, but Indiana would come back and get within 7 points with 10 minutes to go. Penix to Freifogel again, a spectacular catch against the defender. The IU quarterback with a career-high 491 yards passing, 218 of those to Freifogel, the best showing of his career as well. Indiana actually got a couple chances to tie or take the lead in the fourth, but the offense was unable to get over that final hurdle. 42-35, Ohio State takes it, but the Hoosiers proving they are every bit of a team that's earned a top 10 national ranking.
Proud of the heart, the fight, the toughness of this team. They didn't quit. I mean, I think you got a chance to see that they truly are special. And we just got to play better, you know, and it's a really good football team we played. They're substantially elevated level of play compared to the other teams we've played so far.
We just got comfortable, we just came out and just executed, just the simple things, just going out, just playing hard. We came out, we just played hard for each other, and that's what we talked about in the locker room.
It's very disappointing the first half. I mean, we came out just sloppy, that's the blame on everybody, I mean, we gotta find a way to put 4 quarters together, and just that's when this football team will be really special. When we find a way to put 4 quarters together.
IU will play 2 of its next 3 games at home. Next Saturday, they host Maryland. Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
Some scary moments for a dog owner in Florida. Video shows him jumping into action to save his puppy from the grip of an alligator. Richard Wilbanks pried open the gator's mouth and saved his dog Gunner even after being dragged under the water in the jaws of a gator. We are told Gunner is doing just fine, but he's now a little hesitant getting near the water. Who would blame him? Wilbanks decided not to call conservation officers because he says it's the gator's home and it was just doing what a gator does to survive. Well, if you just can't wait to get into the Christmas spirit, the Indianapolis Zoo has just the thing for you. Christmas at the Zoo is now open. It runs through December 30th, closing on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. For 2020, they've added more lights and extra nights, plus they are implementing additional safety measures to ensure their guests enjoy a safe and merry holiday experience. Even Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus are doing their part.
Kids still get to visit with Santa. They don't sit on his lap, but they get to sit in his study, and you can see the post office and the naughty and nice list and check if you're on it. And he'll be behind his desk, and the kids will sit in front, and they can get their picture taken with him. They can also go visit Mrs. Claus, and what's different there this year is that instead of decorating cookies with Mrs. Claus, the kids will get a kit that has a cookie and some icing and sprinkles and a spreader so they can take it home and do it at home so it's safe. So this year, we're really looking at, we've really reimagined Christmas at the Zoo as far as looking at how we can keep people safe.
Well, if you'd like to visit Christmas at the Zoo, you'll need to go to the Zoo's website to buy a timed entry ticket. This is a way to keep the zoo from getting overcrowded because they can only have 25% capacity due to COVID restrictions. Also, you'll need to maintain social distancing once inside, and you must keep your mask on while there. A cuteness alert now. This video from the Maryland Zoo shows something you rarely see or hear. Oh my gosh. Well, the zoo is sharing this special moment of one of their baby chimpanzees. Maisie was moved to the zoo so a surrogate chimp mother could care for her. And the hospital says this is her first time laughing ever. Laughing is a milestone these young animals typically experience when they are 12 to 16 weeks old. Doing a little stretching there too.
She is a happy baby.
Cute. Oh my gosh, that is adorable.
Well, you may not have a smile on your face tomorrow as you head out the door because we do have some rain we're going to have to deal with and some chilly temperatures, 45 the high there. Things do get a little bit warmer as we head toward midweek. Another chance for some rain on Wednesday, but Nicole, it looks like we'll be dry for Thanksgiving.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Kyle, and thank you for joining us. See you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.